Okay, welcome to my first screencast. I wanted to talk about run-on sentences today, as I see this being a pretty major issue with most of my students. First of all, let's talk about what it is. Here we can see that run-on sentences, two complete thoughts run together without any break between them. There's no punctuation, there's no conjunctions or anything separating those two thoughts. So this is the problem. Very often I get students who have, they'll have a sentence that goes on and on and on and on, and they may have 2, 3, 4, 5 different sentences all connected. So the idea here is to make our writing smoother, make it more grammatically correct in English. We have an example here of one kind of run-on sentence, and that's called a fused sentence. And you can see here we've got, I looked outside. Well, that's a complete sentence right there. I looked outside. We have a verb, looked. We have a subject, I. That's one thought. We have a second thought here. It was sunny. Again, we have a verb, was, and we have its own subject, it. But we don't have anything connecting these two thoughts. So this is called a fused sentence. Another kind of run-on sentence that we sometimes see is called a comma splice. And here's an example. She yawned. She was very tired. Again, two complete thoughts. Yawned is a verb with the subject she. Again, we have she was very tired. Was is the verb, she being the subject again. And there's an attempt at a connection between these two thoughts with a comma here, but ultimately we need something else. In English, you just can't put a comma between two complete thoughts and expect that to fix the problem. So to correct them, you really need to. So again, we've got. Sorry for the harsh edit there. It's my first time. So we got two kinds of run-ons. We got the fused sentence, completely joined together, no comma, no punctuation, no period, no semicolon. That's the first kind of run-on. And the second one is the comma splice. And that's where we have the two different thoughts tried to be connected with just a comma. And again, we have an example here of a fused sentence. I love this class, my teacher is a genius. Two thoughts, I love this class. Second thought, my teacher is a genius. And we've got nothing connecting. We need something to connect them there. The second kind, again, is the comma splice. The commas just don't work like periods. They need more. It can't just be a comma connecting two separate, complete thoughts. We can't have, waiting for our example to pop up here. My grades are very good this semester. My social life rates only a C. Again, we have two thoughts. My grades are very good this semester. The second thought, my social life rates only a C. The comma is just not enough. It's just not enough in English to have a very smooth sentence. So, I'm going to pause here for a moment and then look at ways to fix a run-on. There are a few different ways that we can do that. You can use a period and a capital letter to break the two into two sentences. Here's our original sentence. All we need to do is put a period there and make the M in my capitalized. That's a very simple, basic way to do it. A second way is to make a compound sentence. Connect the two parts with a word and a comma. We've got all these conjunctions. And, but, for, or, nor, so, and yet. You can use all of those with a comma. And here we have the same example sentence. I love this class. We put a comma in there and the word and. My teacher is a genius. And there we go. We've solved the problem. It's a very minor problem to fix, but it's definitely something that gets in the way of students really expressing themselves in an intelligent way. Okay? Here's another way to fix it. Use subordination. You can add a dependent word like although or because. I love this class because my teacher is a genius. Another way to fix it, using a semicolon. It's basically just like a period. I love this class. You could put a semicolon right there. My teacher is a genius. And you're done. You've solved the problem. Okay. Next, I've jumped over into Moodle, and we're going to look at some examples that students have written and talk about how we'd fix them. I want you to focus on this sentence right here, where it says, people are being hanged for being a Jews. People are terrified to go outside their houses. This is a comma splice. There are some other issues as well as far as capitalization and whatnot. But the main problem here is we've got a comma splice. We have two complete thoughts. People are being hanged for being a Jew. We've got people are terrified to go outside their houses. Two complete thoughts, and we've got just a comma. The way to fix that is right here. We need to put and. So it would read, people are being hanged for being a Jew, and people are terrified to go outside their houses. Another way we could fix that is we could change that comma into a semicolon. Another way we could fix that is by making that a period and capitalizing the P in people. Let's look at that on a blank screen. So I've got the original sentence here. People are being hanged for being a Jews. People are terrified to go outside their houses. And I've made some corrections, of course, to the minor problems. But I've corrected the run-on sentence aspect of it. It's no longer a comma splice. People are being hanged for being a Jew, period. People are terrified to go outside their houses, period. Another way I could solve that, people are being hanged. I have some small little problems there. People are being hanged for being a Jew, comma, and they are terrified to go outside their houses. And people are being hanged for being a Jew, semicolon, people are terrified to go outside their houses. So there's lots of ways to fix a run-on sentence. Here's another example, also taken from Moodle. Another thing that he wanted to stand out were Vladik and his wife. That's why he made them darker than anything else. This is the other kind of run-on sentence. This is the fused sentence. We have two complete thoughts. Another thing that he wanted to stand out were Vladik and his wife. That's one complete thought. And then the next thought, that's why he made them darker than anything else. There are a few ways that we can solve that. And we can see I've got the different ways to fix this run-on sentence. Another thing that he wanted to stand out were Vladik and his wife, period. And then we've got the capitalization of the next sentence. Another way to do that is another thing that he wanted to stand out were Vladik and his wife, comma, and then we've got a conjunction and that's why he made them darker than anything else. And then lastly, and this is probably the way that I correct it the least amount of times. I don't really use a lot of semicolons in my writing, but it's a very fair way to correct the problem as well. Another thing that he wanted to stand out were Vladik and his wife, semicolon. That's why he made them darker than anything else. All three of those are very acceptable ways to make your writing better and to avoid those run-on sentences. Okay, and what we have here is a collection of sentences. This is basically a worksheet, and you can see the directions up here that you would write an S and the blank before each simple sentence. A simple sentence is just one complete thought. That's what we call in English a simple sentence. Continuing, write C before each compound sentence. Compound sentence would be what we were creating, actually, with when we are fixing some of those run-on sentences. We have two complete thoughts joined by a comma and a conjunction. That's one way to create a compound sentence, or you could create that with a semicolon. So, we have our first sentence here. We've got Florida and Georgia are the only southern states I've visited. Now, we've got only one complete thought here. Florida and Georgia We've got our one verb, are the only southern states I've visited. Okay? We can't break this into two thoughts. We can't say Florida and Georgia are the only southern states. Well, that would be one thought, and then the next thought be, I've visited. I've visited is not a complete thought. It can't stand by itself. So we know that this is a simple sentence. So you would identify this with an S. Go ahead and pause the screencast now and try to put an S, a C, or an RO, which would be a run-on sentence, and then try to fix that run-on sentence. Try to do that on your own. Okay, let's go through the answers. So number 1 was a simple sentence. Number 2, skating and skiing are Aaron's favorite cold weather sports. Again, we've got a simple sentence here. Skating and skiing are Aaron's favorite cold weather sports is just one thought. We can't divide that into two thoughts or two or more thoughts. Number 3, turn right at the stop sign, go left at the corner. We've got a run-on sentence. This is a comma splice run-on sentence. So you'd want to have RO next to number 3. The way we could fix that is turn right at the stop sign, comma, and go left at the corner. That would fix that run-on sentence. Number 4, 6 inches of snow are predicted. I'd better find my boots. That's another run-on sentence. We have a comma splice. We could put 6 inches of snow are predicted, period. I'd better find my boots. That would be one way to fix it. Number 5, both Kuma and Angie enjoy hiking and backpacking. This is a simple sentence. We've got compound subject, meaning we have more than one, Kuma and Angie, but they're both only sharing that same verb, enjoy, and they enjoy two activities, hiking and backpacking. 6 is a run-on sentence as well. And a lot of people think, well, wait a second, run-on sentences are supposed to be really long. Not true at all. Remember, it's just two thoughts that aren't connected correctly. So in number 6, we've got try it, and a way we could fix it would be to put a period there, and then capitalize the Y for the second sentence, which would be, you'll like it. You could also put try it, semicolon, you'll like it. Or try it, comma, and you'll like it. 7, Liam had a solo in last year's concert, semicolon. He hopes to have one this year too. This is a compound sentence. We've got two complete thoughts that are connected with a semicolon. Number 8 is kind of a tough one. Naiabi plays both the oboe and the piano and plays them very well. This is actually a simple sentence. It has one subject, Naiabi, and it has two verbs or two predicates. And that is plays and plays again. So Niobe is actually doing two things here. Plays both the oboe and the piano is one thing that he's doing, and Niobe plays them very well. So not a run-on sentence, but a simple sentence. Number 9 is a compound sentence. George didn't study for the test, comma, but he still got a good grade. We have two complete thoughts joined correctly. So this is a nice job. Compound sentence. And our last one, lately, all of my clothes seem too small, is a simple sentence. So to sum up, run-on sentences are a big problem, but very easily solved. Go back to the beginning of this screencast and make sure that you've got in your notes definitions for run-on sentences, the two kinds, which would be a comma splice and a fused sentence, and the variety of ways that we can solve that. Basically, there's 3 main ways. Using a period to separate them into two sentences, using a comma plus a conjunction, or using a semicolon to join those two thoughts. Good luck.